Till costs are reduced, ultralight cars will not be on the sales lot anytime soon. For those who want efficient cars now, one answer is to buy a hybrid.
The best-selling hybrid car in America, the Toyota.
The Prius was the first commercial success, and now other companies are getting into the act. A hybrid is a gas-powered car that also has an electric motor and a battery pack. When the car idles, it uses electricity instead of wasting gas and spewing fumes. The gas engine is used at speeds when it's most efficient, and it charges the batteries at the same time. Batteries are also charged through braking wheels when the car slows to a stop. The result is a car that gets the same pickup as a regular car, but burns less gas. Because hybrids have batteries and a motor, it takes a bit more energy to manufacture them. But over their entire lifespan, hybrids still consume 30% less energy and produce 30% less carbon than non-hybrids of the same size. But hybrids still burn gas. At his shop at UC Davis, Andy Frank is changing that.
In actual fact, we're not.
Andy and his students are building a hybrid that can charge its batteries through a wall socket. This connects the car to the electric grid so it can get energy from distant power plants. Andy is the inventor of the plug-in hybrid, and for 20 years he's been developing and improving his concept. Compared to standard hybrids, the plug-in has more batteries and a larger motor, but needs less space for the engine and the gas tank. Like many, Andy hopes this evolutionary design will cause an energy revolution.
This kind of a car can transition us off of oil and onto electricity.
It's a major change in that now you can get electricity from the grid. You can take it from your home. You can take it from almost anywhere. So this is a huge difference in terms of the energy source for transportation.
With an overnight charge, the batteries hold enough juice to go 60 miles, more than the average daily commute. And for longer trips, it's got an engine that extends its range to 600 miles.
If when we stop at Motel 5, for example, we plug the thing in.
That's right.
Overnight.
Borrow a little energy from Motel 5.
They won't even notice.
That's right. They wouldn't even.
50-foot. I love it. 50-foot extension cord.
Well, or if you're a long ways, it may be longer though. You know?
You want your room on the second floor? No, we
Gotta be the first one.
But that's the whole point. Whatever available 110-volt socket is all you need to charge this car.
Skeptics say that all plug-ins do is shift the pollution source from the tailpipe to the smokestack. But studies show that cars powered from today's mix of power plants could reduce greenhouse emissions by about 40%. Further reductions are possible if electric power gets cleaner.
Even if you have to build power plants, you're not using any gasoline.
That's right. That's the whole point. You're shifting off of gasoline onto an electric society, and that once you walk into the electric society window, you open the door to the possibility of direct renewable energy. Electricity can be generated in a lot of different forms. And in particular, it can be generated with solar cells on top of your roof. It could be generated from wind. In other words, today's sunshine will give you tomorrow's driving. And you put that energy stored in the batteries. I think one of the things that this kind of car motivates is the possibility of personal wind and personal solar.
My brother's been responsible for a lot of personal wind. You know, he's every week. It's mostly wind that we have from him.
So now we're cruising on electricity alone.
Great.
Yeah.
It's great. And people don't care as long as it does what they want it to do.
But you know what it does do that's better than your car? It's faster.
It's faster, yeah. Yeah.
gets better mileage.
That's
right.
And it doesn't pollute as much.
Right. The most important thing is the ability to use renewable energy directly from the sun.
Right. If I can ever get my home nuclear reactor kit to start working, I've got it made. Right?
It costs 4 times less to power Frank's plug-in from the grid than it does to run it on gasoline. But if plug-ins become the car of the future, will there be enough electricity to keep them all running?
Our existing electric utility system could handle tens of millions of plug-in hybrid vehicles if they would be recharged during off-peak times, such as at night.
With today's batteries, plug-ins can only go so far on electricity. But Frank believes they're a viable step toward more efficient transportation.
I'm hoping that the car companies really get serious and start building these things, because the sooner they get it out in the hands of the public, the sooner we can begin to transition ourselves off of oil.
Martin Eberhard is convinced that cars can be powered by batteries alone. He's the founder of Tesla Motors, and his electric sports car is built to prove electrons are a hands-down winner over gasoline.
Gasoline engine is terribly inefficient. It's below 20% efficient typically. An electric car like ours is in the neighborhood of 85% efficient. It's that kind of difference. So it would be like 135 miles to the gallon equivalent. Yeah, big difference. In a car that does 0 to 60 in 4 seconds.
The Tesla Roadster can go 250 miles on a single charge, but it takes a lot of batteries to go even that far, and they come at a price.
Tesla Roadster costs $92,000 right now. You can buy options and spend more if you like. The great big hairy goal we have is to create the next great American car company. It's insane, right? I mean, we're up against some big guys out there.
The first 600 Roadsters are being handmade overseas. At Tesla headquarters in Silicon Valley, engineers are refining hardware and software for the next, more affordable model.
A lot of the complexity that you find in a typical car has moved out of mechanical things and into electrical things and software.
The mechanics of the Tesla are stunningly simple. The electronics module is the brain that controls the battery pack, which accounts for about 1/3 of the cost of the vehicle and powers a 75-pound motor that drives the rear wheels.
If you look in a motor, there's one moving part, and that drives a very, very simple transmission. But to make that motor do its thing requires a fairly large box of fairly sophisticated silicon and a lot of software behind it to make it do what it needs to do. So a large amount of the drivetrain development was pretty natural to do right here in Silicon Valley.
The power supply is filled with lithium-ion batteries that have revolutionized portable computers and electronics.
Well, first of all, lithium-ion batteries are just the best battery technology today. Lithium is readily available and fully recyclable. The significant advantage of lithium-ion is not a heavy metal, so in the handling process, you don't have a health hazard.
It's already broken. They have it on the lift.
Practically the first thing we put in this building was the lift.
Yeah, we have the same lifts in our shop, except ours are all covered with grease. Where's the grease, Martin?
Where is the grease?
This is a grease-free shop.
So this is all carbon fiber body, and even the structure behind you can see carbon fiber.
So this is the battery pack, and it's got little batteries.
You got quite a few little batteries. Yeah, I might have one here. Hold on.
Yeah?
There you go. Yeah, like that.
Just like that.
And how many of these are in there?
6,831, approximately.
How do you round that number? You round it off to 7,000. I mean, I don't mean to throw a wet blanket on the whole issue here, but I know there was some talk about some laptops that were catching fire.
Yep. We were actually quite concerned about what would happen if one of these batteries were to catch fire. Early on, and we set about designing the battery pack so that if one battery catches fire, it doesn't set the neighbors on fire.
What is it about lithium ions that makes them so special and makes them so different from other batteries?
Energy density. How much energy can it fit into a small package? Lithium-ion batteries are about 4 times the energy density of previous car batteries. And that's a phenomenal difference. That's like 4 times bigger gas tank. So that's where the driving range comes from. It comes at a